Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John and Jenna with Flippin' Ain't Easy, and hopefully you guys have had a really good week in sales as we get through this hot month of August. I can tell you that sales have been really hot here. Some pretty good days. Yesterday we sold on a Thursday almost $900 in stuff on eBay, just eBay alone. I don't even know what we did on the other sites, but pretty good, guys. And usually we'll have a day that's just kind of but we haven't seen one of those knock on particle board, whatever this is, in a good solid 2 weeks. So let's just keep the train rolling here, and hopefully you guys are doing better in your sales as well. So hopefully you'll share that with us here. If you guys are with us, oh, you should notice one thing. I'm sure you notice a difference in the overlays here, a little design difference here in some of the overlays. So just trying to bring a little color to the program, a little change to the look.
I need to go pause.
Oh, so yeah, she had on the other computer, she has this live stream going. So if you're here with us watching the program, please be sure to comment in the comments in the chat, answer any questions or ask any questions you might have. If you are watching after the fact, of course, sorry you couldn't make it, but at least you're listening after the fact. Comment down below if you have any questions or comments about the discussion we're going to have today. And on my list of things to talk about, I was thinking about the topic of discipline, and that's the one topic not really discussed on YouTube. Really isn't. I mean, kind of here and there, but not in as a whole. And there's so many facets to having discipline when you're a reseller. You could be doing this part-time, you could be doing this full-time. For me, I do it full-time. And when I first started going full-time, I thought, you know what, this is going to be a piece of cake. I can make my own schedule. I can do what I want. I don't have a boss breathing down my back. And one of our bosses really was the pits. That's literally was the pits. Literally. It was just, it took a toll on me health-wise, So when I decided to do this, my thought was, you know what, I can just do it at my own leisure. If I want to do it in the morning tomorrow, I could do the reselling in the morning. If I don't feel like it, I could do it in the evening. I got news for you guys. That's the worst way to do it. And I found out that the hard way when sales weren't consistent, because I wasn't consistent. And I wasn't disciplined enough to create my own schedule, much like I have right now. Had I had a boss, there's no way I would have been able to work a morning shift and then a night shift, and then I'll work 2 hours here and go play golf there. I kind of do that now, but I have a schedule. I mean, I just take one day off, half of a day off a week. That's just because I enjoy reselling. And you have to have that within. I mean, I think a lot of people, they start off reselling and they think they don't have to be accountable to anyone anymore. And that's where they first start to fail. And it's really difficult. You got to kind of have that built-in drive to, get your death pile listed, to get X amount of dollars listed in a day. And even when you don't feel like it, because there's been many days lately, I haven't really felt like it, but I'm out here pushing myself because at the end of the day, and this kind of goes hand in hand with motivation, because if you're not motivated, you're not going to want to do it either. But you have to have the discipline to get past how you feel and forget no one's watching you. You got to do it. And that's just one aspect of it. The other aspect of discipline in reselling is I was watching Josh Galt's video. In fact, he put out a little community post about a buy he was going to make with a storage unit. And he set his hard line at $1,500. And he put a little post asking everyone what they thought. And it made me start to think about when I was buying liquidation online in pallet form. I was buying all these pallets. And I'd find some really good stuff in these pallets. And, I had my formula. I had an idea of what what it was worth. what I needed to be into it for to make a certain profit, my 40-40 method. And I was really wanting some of these pallets, and it got closer. It got closer to my line. And I noticed that in a couple occasions, I pushed my line forward, right? And then maybe I would win it and I would regret it later because I didn't have the discipline to stay with my initial number. Um, you could do that at yard sales, same kind of thing. Not have the discipline to say, okay, I need to be in this. You see what the comps are for. You ask whoever's selling it what they want for it. They say 10. You could sell it for 30. They say 10. You really need to be in it for 5. And you find a way to say 8, right? When you really probably shouldn't be that high, because that's where you make money in this game. Now, going back to Josh's storage unit, he held his line. He didn't go any further. As intrigued as he was, I think the storage unit had a lot of vintage. It was over 40 years old, the storage unit, and a lot of vintage furniture, boxes, who knows what was in there. And a lot of people would, well, apparently somebody outbid him, but those people may have overpaid. Now, they may have hit the jackpot too, but you have to find the right place that you need to be within your budget. And if you fail and you don't find what you're looking for, then what are you comfortable losing out, and all the work that you're going to have to do to just recoup as much of that money back. But that takes discipline. You can't spend your way into ruin in this business because it just doesn't work that way. You have to be smart when you're buying. And I think that's where a lot of people fail. They just don't have the kind of control. I watch videos all the time where people say, yeah, you know what? I bought these cute little bracelets. They were $1 a piece. That's all I spent. They were $1 a piece, but you didn't say that you bought 50 or 60 of them, and they're going to sit in your store and you're going to maybe sell them for $10 with, hopefully you're charging shipping on top of that. Maybe you'll get $10 every couple weeks, but that may not be the most disciplined use of your funds. Maybe that $60 you could have bought 3 solid items and flipped those quickly and made a bigger flip. So, I'm not here to tell each and every one of you guys what to do, just to give you guys ideas. We're talking discipline. If you're watching this live stream right now, maybe you should be working. I know a lot of you guys listen to these live streams while you work, and that's cool. I do the same thing too. But how many people are actually sitting down at the computer typing in the chat, which is what we want you to do. But at the same time, it may not be the wisest thing for you to be doing if you're not disciplined enough to say, look, I'll listen to the replay and comment down below afterwards. But I really need to get this bin of stuff right here next to me listed. I think it is very easy to lose that discipline and be distracted. And you're not the only one if you're out there, because I get distracted all the time. I know she gets distracted all the time. And I haven't met one person yet that doesn't in some way, shape, or form get distracted. And that takes discipline. So that's the topic of the day. Hopefully my diatribe only took 8 minutes. So, hey, I'm pretty proud of myself. But want you guys to comment down below and really be honest with yourself. Are you really as disciplined as you need to be when it comes to your schedule, when it comes to sourcing, right? I just think sometimes we have this feeling when we're sourcing that we just have to leave that yard sale with something. Maybe you haven't found a lot of stuff in the few yard sales you hit. And so now you're going to the next few yard sales thinking, I got a lot of pressure because I only picked up a couple items and I need more merchandise to sell this week. And I think sometimes we tend to be willing to overpay. And I've seen myself do that, where I kind of feel the pressure of getting stuff to resell and the stuff to pick through isn't so good. So I'm willing to kind of settle for a little less than what I would normally be hunting for, and sometimes paying a little bit more. And then when I get it, I'm like, what was I thinking? Because I'm not going to make a whole bunch of money on this sale.
Or
so
I am saying, what were you thinking?
Yeah, she'll do that. Yeah, she'll do that too. And so that's it. Discipline is I'm still working on it. That's something that I'm still dealing with, and I feel like I'm pretty successful with it. I get up every morning, pretty much have the same routine. Make sure we get the residual shipping done. Start working on listings, but of course I've got distractions with messages coming in and offers coming in and questions coming in and messing with all the different accounts and just so many facets that go along in this game of reselling that if you don't put together some kind of a schedule at least in your mind, it doesn't have to be written or anything like that. You're going to find yourself working many, many long days that maybe some days I like to work. So that sounds ridiculous, but I enjoy this business. But if you're trying to spend more time with the family, if you're trying to spend more time away from reselling and not make it like a job, even though it is, but I think I don't feel like it's a job because I enjoy what I do. But if you stick to a schedule, at least in your mind, you're going to be able to get through your day a little bit easier than just having, and we also call it fighting fires. So all these little fires you're trying to put out throughout the day that cause distractions. And you have to be disciplined enough to navigate through those fires and say, you know what, I know that I need to handle this, but this is not a priority right now. I'm going to put it aside. Let me finish what I got to get done, this tub of stuff that I need to list. And then when I'm done, I will then work on handling that. But if we're constantly stopping what we're doing here, like right now, to get the door for the Postal Service, then we're not going to be able to get the things done that we need to get done. And distractions are the momentum killer. So it's just discipline in understanding what those distractions are, evaluating what the level of importance is on some of these fires we have to fight, and then take action or don't take action. But each and every one of us has to figure that out and be honest with ourselves. So we have Brian H. says, hello, John, Jenna, and everyone. Thanks for being here, Brian. eBay Life, the daily struggles of an eBay seller. Happy Friday, FAE fam. John and Jenna, hope everyone is well. So far, so good. So far, so good. If you would have asked me, is this a return? Oh, another one? Okay, we got to talk. Really?
Don't open it in here.
No, I'm not. Okay. This kind of makes me mad. But I'm sure this fool here is waiting for me to make a dedicated video about this, and I'm not going to do that. I don't even want it in the house, to be honest with you. To be honest, I'd rather have it outside in the garage. But so this person,
I have so much to say, but I cannot say it on a live.
Okay. So here's the deal. Because I'm not going to make a dedicated video, I think that's the reason why this punk here wants to play with me. But this, I think, person was behind this last year. Okay. And I'm surprised that this was even delivered. Well, we'll get to that here in a second. Last year, I had a person, some of you are the channel, and someone that's probably looking for a dedicated video, too lazy to watch the live anyway, that bought a small ticket item from us. You guys remember this. Sent some gibberish before the item even arrived, right? And then once it arrived, they returned it back. Well, at least that's what I thought. But the gibberish said something about slave labor in China and can't support this company and blah, 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 blah. It was in a different language. And so I'm like, whatever, I accept the return. And I got nothing but a manila envelope full of just obscenities.
Obscenities.
Okay. So fast forward, I sold one of these. It was like the $10 football stand. And it was like $10 plus shipping. They paid like $15. And shipped it out, no problem. Well, like 2 days later, before the thing even arrived, they said, hey, sent me a message in Polish saying that they're going to return this item because they don't want it anymore. And then they opened a return, and it said a lot in Polish along those lines of something about not supporting the trans community and slave labor, and they're not going to support it. And they and full of photos that were of nothing, just random photos of just crap. And that was in the return request. So I'm like, okay, I've seen this story before. So I accept the return, of course, supply the ground advantage, 1 pound return label, which is no big deal. And so I go check my mail. Was it 2 days ago? And I get this 6 pound box, and it's from, even the name is just wrong.
Yeah, don't.
I mean, I'm not going to say the name, but it's just derogatory. It's very offensive, the person's name, if you say it fast enough. And come to find out, the address, it's at a gamma beta or
it's
sigma beta, or sigma alpha beta, whatever,
yes.
sorority. And
it's a retirement home.
No, is it a retirement home now?
Yes.
Okay, well, nonetheless, it's when we opened this box, it was a 6 pound box that we opened. It was full of trash, underwear, a digital scale, not even a digital scale, just an old scale, wasn't even digital, a water bottle,
dry oatmeal.
Yeah. It was just, and a pair of shorts that had like stains like all over it, and underwear, and it's like, what the heck is going on? And I took a video of it and everything. Well, Jenna tried to video me, but she had me kind of crooked, like sideways like this. So I'm like,
it wasn't me, it was the thing.
So between the video and just thinking about it, this guy wants me to make a dedicated video. I think I made one last year, and I think this punk kid that is failing college probably and has nothing better to do with his life. Well,
it's a retirement home.
Well,
if they even live in this
if
place.
they even do, but nonetheless, they sent me another box.
Shake it.
Oh boy, sounds like something's rolling in there. Do we dare?
No, not in my house.
Okay, you want to talk to them? I'll go open it. Or do you want me to? I'm just going to open it. I'll throw it out. Maybe it's something that'll jump out.
Do it over there.
Okay, scoot back. Sorry, guys. I'm sure this is making for compelling television. I'm sure, but oh, and then there's in that situation. Oh, this is nice. What is this? I don't even want. You guys, I don't know.
No.
I don't know what's in there. What is that?
Wow.
What is that?
Oh.
Hold on. Oh God, that smells. Look what they sent. It's like crap or something.
Go get it out of the house.
I am. Oh.
This MFer is going to get caught. I can't say what I want to say on here because it would be a little too foul. I have a lot more respect for you guys than that. I am beyond pissed off. And people like this that want to play games and mess with people like this, karma is going to get you, and it's going to get you bad. And let me tell you, it's coming. I can't even tell you how angry I am right now. And it smells in here now. So thank you very much. Thankfully, I have something to spray in here as soon as he comes back. That way you're not looking at a blank screen. But he's oh God. Oh, nope, he's not from Florida. His name ain't Wayne. It's something, well, we know that that's not, for one, his name, because it's very vulgar. I would never, ever say it out loud. He wanted me to say it out loud really fast because he thought I didn't understand, but I refuse. You're stupid.
Pretty good, actually.
You smell it?
When I got it in the sun, it looked like old meatballs. Disgusting. So, yeah, that's
welcome to our lives. Don't you guys want to have a YouTube channel?
so. Yeah, and they use the same
not
label.
Always pretty.
What I don't understand is they were able to use the same label. So what are they going to charge me for that label now? I don't know, but appreciate them sharing that. But the things you catch on live streams, I tell you. So that's what we're dealing with. And, you know, I was fully expecting something really bad. That other box was 6 pounds. You know, you hear stories about, who knows? I mean, it's kind of the thing that eBay was doing to the Steiners, but it's not eBay. So my blood is boiling right now. I'm that ticked off. So hopefully we can kind of get through this, and maybe next time I won't open a package like that on the live stream.
I tell you not to do it, and you do it anyway. I mean, of course we're all curious and want to know what was in the box. But let me tell you, smell like fertilizer.
Oh, it was bad. It was an old meatballs in a container.
Strawberry container that had like weeds in it.
Had the holes in there so you can smell.
Yeah, that's why I said strawberry, like a strawberry container.
Yeah. So enough of me. Let's talk about you guys. Aside from that, I was having a great day. Esther's in the house. Thanks for being here from New York City. Picky Ricky, hi all. I actually did some YouTube videos one day and one yesterday. It might be my new habit. All right.
Ooh, cool.
There you go. Then Picky Ricky says YouTube is on the top 3 of most visited websites on earth, may as well be part of it. Why not? I mean, the hardest part about doing YouTube, at least at the beginning, is getting started and being consistent and having, let's talk about it, discipline to get videos up when you don't feel like doing videos. There's times I don't feel like doing videos. And the reason why I didn't put out but one video this week is I was so busy. You know,
it's been a very busy week.
A lot of stuff.
I mean, there's just a lot between the sales that are coming in, which we are completely grateful for. But, you know, maintaining our workspace, going to get product, all of those things. He spends an entire day pretty much going to get product, and he has to time it right. And it's just a whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And Thursday was pretty much gone. I mean, I was able to get some listings done, but you know, going in and picking up the stuff that I need for this week to resell was fun. Jackie Bleckner says, hi, John and Jen and everyone. I was watching the Nurse Flipper in the other night in the chat. Someone else stole your name. Use flipping ain't easy. A couple kissing.
Interesting. Yeah, we've had that happen before.
Yeah, that's fine. We've had some people visit this channel with the same logo and the same name, and we just booted them from the live. Let's see.
Thanks for letting us know, Jackie, that another one's out there.
Oh, I knew that. It kind of happens. Maya Koyama says, hi, everyone. I had a slow Thursday, but my sales seem to be back to normal today. Just did closet clear out on Poshmark and already got 2 sales. So I'm happy with that, and 2 on eBay so far. So there you go.
That's good. Yeah, our Poshmark has seemed to pick up for probably because of school year starting up.
So speaking of Poshmark, we got a message from someone. Jenna had just listed these shoes, and they're some Jordans. And you guys remember that?
Ones.
Yeah, well,
vintage,
not Air Force Ones, but they were from that big lot of shoes that we had, and we just kind of got to this. Why does it say copy on there?
Just don't touch it yet, because I'll tell you why after.
Anyway, so we have a pair of Nike Air Jordan 1 Retro OG High University Baby Blues. They're from like 2020, and Jenna had like listed it at like $70 or $60, whatever. And someone asked me, hey, would you take 50 for these? And I didn't really know too much about them. And I said, yeah, take 50. And they said, well, do you have a tag? Do you have the photo of the tags? So I went and got the shoes and wrapped the shoes. We wrap them when we put them away. And I unwrapped the shoes, did a photo of the tag, put it in the listing. And they came back and said, no, these are repros, like reproduction. And I
But they're
said,
not.
okay, so I'm like, all right, now my curiosity is piqued. I start looking at the comps. I go on the website that says, how do you tell if your Jordan 1s are fake? And I look through, and this shoe passed every test. So I sent them a message saying, I don't know what you're talking about, but everything I see said that these are, in fact, legit. So been dealing with that particular kind of thing, and I upped the price of the shoes, brought them up to $99, and we got an offer on
Been getting
on
offers
eBay for like
yesterday and today.
Well, I put it for 99, and her sale kicked in. Her 20% off sale kicked in, knocked them down to $79.99, and someone wanted 60. I'm like, no, we already got these priced to sell. We'll go another 5 off of them if you want it, but that's about it. So that's what we did right before we went live with that. So maybe you'll get a cha-ching on Jenna's phone. I'm not sure. And speaking of cha-ching, hit the like button, guys. I don't know how or why, but when you hit that like button, most time, some people report they didn't get their sale and they got their money back. But you hit that like button, and within 24 hours, I don't know how it works, but you're going to get a sale. And
Todd always gets them.
I know. What's that all about?
Larry
He
Todd.
must cheat. Yes, Larry Todd. Silver Stacker. Let's see. eBay Life says it's all about consistency, Picky. Just keep creating each video. You'll get better and better along the way. Right. There you go. And a lot of folks got here early. Kevin Hawthorne says, good evening, but I'm not sure where he's at. So thanks for being here with us today, Kevin. Maya says, not sure if my sales today is a coincidence or not, but it's nice not to have to pay the promotions. Here's Larry, waiting for this all day because I have no life. You guys just rolling in here. Biscuit Butts in the house. Thanks for being here. Sandra says, hello, everyone. Thanks for being here, Sandra. Guide Guru says, hey, everyone. Ann Febraro says, hi, peeps. Hi. Yes, thanks for being here. We also have Lenny K. Thanks for being here.
Hampshire.
Yeah, and then Art Betzold, and then Teabags. We have, let's see, Faduni Abby says, hello there. I made a sale on eBay, but the buyer is brand new. Made a new eBay account yesterday. 0 feedback. Buyer paid already. Anything to worry about? Thanks for feedback. No.
If they already paid, no.
Well, yeah, unless it's a best offer, or they're making an offer to you. You have to worry about that. They're going to end up paying. I think a lot of these people they just created the account. Again, I think we talk about this a lot, but it's probably a listing that showed up in Google Shopping, and someone that had no intention on buying on eBay bought your item, and it redirected them to eBay. They had to either open an account or they used the guest checkout, and that's why you're seeing that. Guide Guru says, hey, John and Jenna, sales are in the toilet, but I know why. My inventory is stagnant and all my best stuff is sold. I haven't been sourcing lately, and my death pile is more or less crap. So you're looking at your death pile. I've kind of got one of those death piles where it's like, yeah, it's not worth my time, because when you start really selling good stuff and start making sales with good stuff, the stuff you thought had a appeal months ago, like last October, November, you're buying it low and you still can make 5x on your buy. It doesn't even seem like it's worth your time. Like, I bought it for $1, I'm gonna make 5 or 6, right? So it's one of those things where it's hard to get up to really get those items listed when you have items that you pick up every week, like in my case, that I need to have priority on it. It's always best to get your top stuff up first and then kind of work your way down in value, because you never know what you're going to stumble upon later. And that stuff has just been sitting. That's the reason why I have a death pile. I just have better things to list right now. Let's see. Callie Deb says, hi, John and Jenna and everyone. And Biscuit Bus is disciplined like when you lecture me, or disciplined as in being consistent. Yeah, it took a long time to get that to you. But I think at the end of the day, I mean, no matter what you do, right? It doesn't even have to be eBay. It could be the thing that you do to help you pay your bills. It's like, if I don't get out here and do whatever that is, then I ain't paying my bills. And at the end of the day, that gets you in check, at least for that thing that helps you pay your bills. And I think the more dire things are, the more of a motivator that is. That's kind of what it was for me last year. Just scrambling, guys. I got to a point where, you know, a lot of I don't think I've ever told you guys this, but when I started my reselling gig here full time back in 2019, I mean, we had a $40,000 nest egg that, you know, was a not a ton of money, but it was a good fallback amount of money. That, you know, the idea was, look, I'm going to invest as little of this as I can in inventory, but it's really about maintaining this and being able to just live without any fear. But as 2019, I even went back and looked at the books, you know, my bank account statements. 2019, we did just that. We were fine. That money maintained itself. 2020, the balance started falling a little bit. 2021 started falling some more. By the time we got to 2022, that was dried up, and we got really
old Rona.
It got really scary. I'm happy to say that we reversed that trend, and the funds in the bank account are going back up. Now I'm nowhere near where I need to be, but or where I want to be, but it's not in scary territory anymore. You know, we have the ability, if we want to go somewhere, to do something, and it's not going to kill us, right? So that's just the reality of this game. You know, it's if you're going to start reselling for the first time, you got to have something to fall back on. You got to. It's going to be so hard because by the time you figure out what's working, you're going to be so far in debt without that money to fall back on. It may be just too hard to even continue reselling, regardless of your discipline or whatever, you know, self-discipline you have. Gail Carlson says, hello, John and Jenna. Thanks for being here, Gail.
Hi, Gail.
Noah Design says, hey, Jenna, and unsupervised. Yeah, I knew you would say something about my shirt. Let's see. Picky Ricky's pushing himself to cover extra 50% in rent. Wow.
You can do it.
Hopefully they didn't do that to you. Hopefully you're just trying to save a little money, but it sounds like you might have got your rent upped on you. Guide Gurus has found a Jack Delane juicer at thrift today. The parts are worth more than the juicer. Yeah. You'll be surprised that you can part out a lot of these appliances that you find, and you're going to make more selling them individually. And that's a very good way to go about it. Maya says, John, thanks for your reply to my comment on your other video. I put a lot of my unlisted items in bags. I'm going through one bag at a time.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, because look, if you have a garage full of stuff, and this used to happen to me. I used to get 2, sometimes 3 pallets delivered to me very close to each other. And I'd go out to my garage and I'd be like, where do I even begin? Right. And it was so overwhelming that I didn't even want to look at it. But I get out there and I would just like, I wasn't productive because I was like frozen, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So I picked up a tip someone had written somewhere on a forum somewhere, that you want to just take like a box or a tub, fill it up, okay, and take it to your work area. Forget about anything else that you have in that garage or wherever you're storing that stuff. And this is the only thing that matters right here, is getting that listed. And if you break it up into smaller bundles, then it's going to be less stressful, and you're not going to be frozen by like.
That's what I did with those shoes, all those hundreds of shoes that we have. I go and I pick out, enough to fill a bin, and I bring the bin to my desk and I do the bin. And then I do it all over again. And it seemed to be working a lot better than how it was. We're down so many. We have so many more that are listed and that have already sold. And we have sold a lot of shoes. However, there's still a lot left.
Yeah. So Teabag says, eBay put in a case note saying I shipped the item late. Order was 8/3. I shipped 8/3. Should I contact eBay again to fix that too, or forget it? I already won the case. What you want to do is you want to go to your overview page on your Seller Hub. And if you kind of scroll down, it'll say something to the effect of seller level region and your seller level. Like for me, I'm top rated look down and see what your late shipment rate is. If you're getting close to 97% on time, or lower, then you definitely want to handle it so that, if that's being counted against you, and you can click on it and get more information, kind of drill into what shipments are causing me this problem, because you don't want to lose your seller status because you're over 3% late in shipments. But if it's just one time and you're like 99.62, I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just going to deal with this, let it go.
How we get a 99.62?
It says I have a 0.76 late shipment rate and then a 99.62% uploaded on time and validated. Whatever. The numbers don't match, but I'm not close to 97, so I'm probably not going to mess with it. But if I was any lower than 99, it's starting to get close to 97, I would consider trying to have it taken out, so that when you get evaluated, depending on some people get evaluated monthly, some get evaluated every 3 months. It just, one of those things you don't want to have to mess with, being too close to losing your seller status. Biscuit Butt says, I've noticed even vacuum cleaners make more parting outs too. Yeah. I think you did something like that. I think you got a vacuum cleaner,
even
some Dysons.
makers.
Yeah. And
Keurigs, just the water container or just the shelf that the cup sits on. All of those things make sometimes more money than the actual unit itself.
Ice cream makers, vacuums. Biff Boffles is my favorite line at estate sales is, okay, I'll put it back. And I do. And a lot of times they give me my price.
That's right.
Because they're trying to clear it out. Right. And maybe, especially if you're going on like second, third, fourth day and, it hasn't sold already, they're looking to just get it out of there. And that's kind of the good thing. I'd say, if anything, about an estate sale, the person you're dealing with doesn't have that emotional attachment to the item. Like sometimes you go to a yard sale and someone, they want too much for it, and you could tell it's because they have an emotional attachment to the item. Kim Sharp is with us, says, happy Friday, everyone. Slow week, but I just got a pallet of adult Halloween costumes in listing while listening.
Yes, get going, awesome, girl.
Awesome.
You're right on time.
Let's see. Biscuit says, Jenna's cracking the whip on the length of the monologue. No, I just think that I can sit here and
he can ramble for days.
Ramble and go on a diatribe about discipline, this, that, and the other thing. But I think you guys get my point. And there's so many levels of it that if you're not on it with your schedule, not on with how you buy, it can actually really put you behind the 8 ball. And I think a lot of people wonder why are some sellers on this platform more successful? And I'm pretty sure, I can almost put money on it, that most of those folks that have successful reselling businesses, it's because they're disciplined. They have a process, they have a schedule, they have a buy point where they don't exceed that amount on certain items, and they don't deviate. And I think that we need to figure out, look at your own processes. Do you need to develop a schedule? Do you get, what do they call that? When you buy something, it's a compulsive buy. What do they call it? I guess maybe I said it, but impulse buy.
Impulse.
It's like, oh, I really got to have it. And you can't make that much money for it, but for whatever reason, you need to buy it, right? It's something that you have your eye on, and you get it home and you're like, I can't make anything on this, or maybe just very little. And now you're wasting your time on that item, listing that item that's going to give you a $5 return when that money was better spent on something else. Maya says, photography is by far the most time consuming. I have bad hand tremors, so I have to take most pics 2 to 3 times to get a clear picture. So Maya, here's something you could try to do. I don't know if you're using your phone or an actual dedicated camera, but pick up a tripod, maybe a tripod for your phone or your camera, whatever works. You probably get them like $15, $20 on Amazon. And that way, okay, so you have your area. I have just a white area. It's kind of dirty, but I use my background removal tool to get that out of there. So I set the item down and my hands are steady. I'm good. But if you have that tripod, like aiming down at the item, right? Maybe one that's adjustable in the height. So if you have a bigger item, it'll work. all you're now doing is you have your phone or your camera on that tripod, and you're lining it up, and then you're hitting the picture button, right? And I think that will help you a lot. Hopefully that does. Henri Squaw says, I'm distracted making huckleberry muffins. Is that a thing? I didn't know huckleberry.
Yes,
I thought that was
berries.
Oh, okay. Well, I just didn't know. Maybe I'm just that dumb. I am distracted making huckleberry muffins from the berries we picked on vacation. Awesome.
Now those I'll take in the mail.
And then Thomas says, Josh Galt is impressive. The way he has scaled in 2 years solo is wild. Yeah, I like the guy. He has some pretty good discussions on his channel.
And I like how he says, I've been.
I think Tommy does too. I think Tommy said something about that.
I just laugh when he, I mean, I'm obviously hearing him, and
Wasn't he from Canada?
I think he is.
I think that explains it a little bit.
Yeah.
Alicia Curtis says, hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. Lenny K says, anybody having issues with the Seller Hub page? Mine's fine. I can tell you, if I'm going to give you the glitch of the week, it's one I read about on e-commerce bites, where I think eBay is sending offers on our behalf without us even authorizing the offer. Some guy had a $550 item that he ended up selling for like $50. And other stories that I read on that article, that is like, okay, it hasn't happened to me, but that's a problem. Now, I know that eBay has denied relisting our items and or removing items out of our inventory. They just pretty much said it was us. So if you had a duplicate item sell that was relisted, eBay is pretty much telling you, well, that's your problem, right? But we all know that that happens. So it doesn't surprise me that we're getting these crazy offers. Apparently, people are sending offers to, like, let's say 2 people, and then another watcher comes along, and within that 48-hour window, eBay's sending that third person an offer. At least that's what they're saying. So
really?
That's what they're saying. So I don't know.
Because those shoes last night, I had 4 that I sent out for watchers, and then I had somebody send me, was it a message? No. Yeah, they sent me a message, and so I sent them an offer.
Well, that might have nothing to do with it.
No.
No.
Well, it was weird. I was getting a lot of
I mean, in this case,
messages
someone was getting an 84% discount off the item. It's like, no, why would
No.
This other person was selling it for 45, and the person got it for 4, and they had to cancel the sale. The customer was mad, but it's like, this is selling for 40 plus bucks like crazy. Why would I sell it to you for 4? So I don't know. Let's see. Sherry Norton's with us. Hello, working on listing discipline. Yes. This is what we, unless it's something you do on the side for fun, you need this money, then you need to have a schedule. You need to be serious about it. And until you get out of this mode where, and it's the hardest thing when you're first starting full time, I'm free. I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. And while there's a certain level of truth to that, I mean, you could set your own schedule. You don't have to ask a boss if you can come in late tomorrow. You still need to be accountable to yourself, and you need to run your business as a business. And that means putting in the work at least Monday through Friday, or 5 out of 7 days out of the week.
Quite a few people are saying their hubs are down.
Oh, really? Well, hopefully mine's not. But you know what? I try to refresh this real quick and see what happens. Guess what? I hit the refresh button, and it's down. I mean, I'm not getting anything. I just show the little header, says overview, orders, listings, marketing, and nothing pops up underneath.
See?
But that's
it
the
happens
second
to us too.
That's the second glitch of the week. But you know, guys, look, eBay is going to put us through this, and you just gotta have to laugh it off, because what can you do about it? You know, you can't do anything about it.
Is it done or doing that on the app?
I don't know, but it's doing it on the PC. So yeah, it's happening here. So that's really, that sucks. But I'm going to move forward, maybe find something else to do with your business in the meantime. Maybe you got a pile of stuff you have to go in and check, right? Check for tears, check for rip stains, make sure it's clean the items, make sure that they work. those are things that don't need eBay to be done. And that way, when you go back out there, you don't have to worry about it. Yeah. And, or you can go on list and do your stuff on the app, the stuff that you need to do. Silver Hair Stacker says, cha-ching, thumbs up worked. So there you go. And then Tommy, like I said, Maya, they make small tripods and adjustable arms to put phones and cameras that clamp to the desk so you don't have to hold it. Yeah. That is, you can find all kinds of stuff on Amazon. You'd be amazed. Roman, he is not from Lakeland, Florida. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. And then we have Daniel Lesage. It says, hi, guys, from Baton Rouge. I would have missed this live again if Miss Kathy didn't remind me. My best of all to you. Well, thanks for being here, Daniel.
Well, thank you for Miss Kathy.
Biff Boffo says, eBay was nice to me for the last 12 days and decided to suck today. Luckily, I have been cross-listing and have had 10 sales in my niche site this morning. Sales or takes the sting out of eBay's issues. It does. That's why it's always a good idea to cross-post, regardless of the tool that you're using. Have a tool. Don't do it manually, and get your items out in front of more eyes if you're struggling. Let's see.
Design says it's back.
Okay. Tommy says, Archie, I have zero efficiency. I'm distracted 80% of the day. No, I think you're on point. If you're able to do the kind of sales that you're able to do, Tommy, source the way you source. I'm sure that there's a lot of discipline in that formula that helps you do what you do. I'm sure if you slacked off a lot, you wouldn't get half the success that you're getting. Eddie Estrada says, might be forced into full-time eBay soon. I mean, we had no choice, right? But thankfully we had a little nest egg.
We kind of got kicked to the curb.
Yeah. Severance package, and that was, we paid off some bills and stuff like that. That made it easier. But yeah, severance package allowed us to have that cushion and stuff for a while. But man, you just have to be disciplined. You just got to really be serious. If this is all you're doing full time and your bills and your livelihood depends on it, you can't be messing around with that. You have to have a lot of discipline in your life. Let's see. Silver Hair says, least motivated and disciplined seller is me. But I think you might be retired. See, if you have, and I might be wrong too, but I think I heard you say one time that you're retired doing this. If you have that retirement coming in, it's a little easier to kind of get through as a part-timer, even part-time. You don't even have to do it full-time anymore. Guide Guru says, I got threatened with a negative and worded in such a way that it wouldn't be construed as a threat if I tried to dispute it. That's interesting because, you want that to come through from a buyer, a message to come through from a buyer outlining, here's what I want. Okay, I want this amount of money from you, or I'm going to leave a negative because that's all I need to see. And for me, it's like, okay, I'm not working with you anymore. Leave the negative if you want, because this is going to be, all I got to do is spend 2 minutes and request this to be removed. And within 8 hours, it's going to be gone, which is my experience. And I do take, a time to do that, to dispute the negative. But the way I look at it is, I think there's a lot of buyers out there like me that are going to see that negative, and I don't want them to maybe make their decision based on some BS negative that someone left because I didn't do what they wanted me to do. JP says, I was at an estate sale and my limit for a very nice Honda lawnmower was $200. I paid $230, but it was for me. I needed a new one anyway. Win-win. So that's different though. You're buying items for yourself. So I'm sure that you would have paid a lot more for that retail, right? So that is a good thing. And as far as that thing in the box, I think Picky Ricky was saying farts in a jar.
It smelled like it was nasty.
I mean, come on. At this point, just sad. People are sad. Backyard Mowing says, I'm confused.
Well, so were we. When she handed me the package, I looked at the name and I went, oh, yeah. My
Guy Guru says, oh no, it's got to be a YouTube seller's biggest fear. That one of them, but it is what it is. It comes with the territory. If it would have been a box full of earbuds with the wax cake on it, it might have ruined my day, but it wasn't that bad. Let's see. Andy Reno says Roman will take care of them. Don't know. Oh, you mean those people?
You
Yeah.
know, you're close enough to them.
If Buffalo wanted to do an unboxing, well, we did. And then Deanna says, "Do not open."
Yeah, that's where I was standing.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be something like that, cockroaches,
Yeah.
right? But so I said, we opened the other one, right? It was trash day on Wednesday, and so we had the trash cans out on the street, and so I'm like, I'm opening this on camera on top of this trash can lid. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not going to take this thing in my house.
I'm like, do not open that anywhere near the house.
Yeah. Mary Knight says, goodness, interesting life of a reseller. Yeah. Roma says, don't pull it out without a forensic expert. New Country Guys, the Anchor Punch Boxing News says, I would have had the authorities open it. But, who am I going to complain to?
Well,
I guess we can contact the authorities at that address, which we have, and show them these videos, or at least the one I have from me opening the first box, and have them go in and give them a visit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Maya says, put an investigation to USPS. Maybe they can trace where it came from. Well, I'm sure where it came from. I mean, the item got to the destination, I'm sure.
But did you ever check to see if the address that matched where we sent the item to that address?
The address looks like it was the same from what I remember. I mean, I don't remember what was on this box. I'm not going to go out and get it again.
I could tell you.
Yeah.
But I won't live.
Mary says, so ridiculous. Some people have nothing better to do. Tommy says, was it Wayne from Florida again? No, this is another fun person.
Yeah.
Killashaw's 33 says, people can be trash. Don't let them get to you. You are fueling them. And that's why I wasn't going to make a video.
Put the video.
Honestly, I wasn't even going to talk to you guys about it. And then here comes this box. And then I look down and it's the same stupid derogatory name.
Like I said, I saw the name and I went, oh my gosh.
And then PTS Treasure says, wow, the level of disrespect is insane. Y'all don't deserve that. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Alden Hames says, rotten strawberries. No.
It was in a strawberry container. The clear ones that have the drainage holes in the bottom. It was one of those, but it was filled with not strawberries.
Yeah. Millie Vegas says, hello from Texas, Vegas Decor. Thanks for being here. And then Wiggy Q, that looks like a biohazard report. Police, eBay, be careful.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, this person has zero feedback. I think they made their account just to buy from me.
Yeah. Based on our suspicions, this is the same person that harassed us last year. And I would probably bet $1,000 on it being the same person.
Yeah.
And we got that account shut down. So they've obviously gotten a new account.
Oh, it's probably even a guest account. But this particular one, let's see if I can share it with you if I have it here. Yeah, it is UMP period -78. So that's the name, UMP .-78. If you want to block those, that fun person. Yeah. Ashley says, let's all give this video the thumbs up. Yes.
Thank you, Ash.
Yes, I appreciate that. And then all of it. Mike H was the name, huh? No.
Nope.
It is a very bad derogatory.
If we said it out loud, it's not appropriate. It's a word.
Essentially he made a name, a first and last name out of the N word, and we'll just say it that. That's what we're gonna say.
Yeah.
And you got to look at it and go, wait, this guy, no, it's just ridiculous.
Anyway, we're not talking about him anymore.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Biff says it was good content, to be honest. Yes. I'm sure it was.
It would have been the video would have been even better.
Yeah, it's not about views.
It's not about views. At this point, it's about our safety, and I will be doing my own investigation So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, they want to get wise and just leave me alone. That'd be the best thing to do. But if they ever decided they're coming to the house, I do have protection, so I'm not worried about that. So that would be a video in its own. Thomas has just called the postal inspector, most powerful law enforcement in the U.S. They love arresting people. Yeah.
Thanks, Tommy.
I appreciate that. Ren says, I think it's time to get some post office security, FBI ever involved. This is so not cool. It's not.
No, you're right. It is not cool. It's harassment at this point, and I'm not going to stand for it. I won't. So,
but it could be just someone with a bogus address, and they maybe they never got the thing I sent them.
I would really love for you to click on that.
What? Yeah, eBay ended up paying for this return, by the way, because I told them I ain't giving their money back.
Return details.
Okay, what do you want to look at the return details for?
Well, it's not showing me what I want to see.
Okay, well, nonetheless, you're looking for an address?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, there you go. And that's not the address,
yes,
I think.
It is.
Is it the address? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And people are just not very... I know. I tried to call the phone number that was on there, and it went to, this phone is not in service. So,
of course it's not.
Maverick says, question, is there another platform that allows selling Americana salt and pepper shakers? I would say maybe Etsy. This is not a question I can answer because I don't sell that, but maybe Mercari. But you're not going to get nearly what you want for
it. Not Mercari. Mercari is more for, in my opinion, is more for low selling or low.
Just looking at Mary's comment here.
Yeah, me neither.
That's
disgusting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Anyway, no, I wouldn't put it on Mercari. Either Etsy or I would say eBay's your best bet because that's where I feel like you're going to get the best amount for the item. But see, we don't know because we don't sell those things.
Yeah, I don't sell those things. Yeah. But someone here does. I'm sure can tell you.
Somebody could tell you.
1 Foot Flippers in the house. Thanks for being here. Hey. And Mark Suddick says, hi, what you should do to the MF a-hole, put it in a different box and send it back for sure. Do it. It's not worth my money. It's not worth the money to put into a label, honestly. Look, I've got a lot going on in my life. Unfortunately, this person doesn't. So I expect that kind of thing from people like that. Yeah. It's unfortunate. But if they were hoping to get me to make a video and to make a whole scene about it, I'm not. The only reason why we are even talking about it is because this was when someone came to the door and delivered the package or picked up our mail. They delivered that package. Why didn't they leave it in the mailbox, I wonder? They usually do.
Maybe she was having a good day. She obviously, normally they leave it in the box and we have to go get it with the key.
Nothing would have stayed there for a week because we only go like once a week. It would have got really fermented.
We don't get our mail often.
Let's see. Tommy says they aren't the original OG. Jordan remakes all the shoes now. So make sure to put a picture of size tags in every list. Yes. Mm-hmm. I told you that yesterday.
I know, and I couldn't get to it. It
was the tag is at the base of the
it's inside the
those Nikes
shoe.
When they do that to it.
And so it was very difficult with my little short stubby fingers to get in there with my camera my phone is bigger than his. And so my phone couldn't fit in the shoe.
And Roman says, I'll go into my return settings and change all my listings to no returns so I won't get any meatballs.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Thomas has got my analytics from the beta. Google promoted listings for 102 weeks. It got me exactly 0 clicks, views, or sales. LOL. Wow. We have Lawrence in the house has a question. Can someone else take your name? Flip it ain't easy. There was a question asked on Nurse Flipper Tuesday night by that name. Do not think it was you. So
it wasn't us.
You could put multiple names in there, right? In fact, I got I did some research on Flip It Ain't Easy because I was going to copyright the name. So I was going to have shirts and stuff. We were talking about having that kind of stuff made, merch. And I did some research. As it turns out, someone who was a house flipper out near where we used to live in California had already put in a copyright for that. But they didn't act on it I think you have like a year. Yeah. to finish the process, and they never did. And so you can, if someone right now was to go in and put a copyright on it, I can go in and dispute that, because I've had my YouTube channel longer than that person probably had. So there's some terminology for it, but it's like a copyright in whatever. But I did a lot of looking at that, so I'm not so worried about it anymore. This person was just a house flipper anyway, and there's a lot of people that do talk about flipping ain't easy as far as like flipping houses. But
yeah, just be careful with who you watch and what their commenters are saying. I mean, that's really the only thing that we can say is, if it doesn't sound like us, then it.
I don't have any apostrophes anyway in my name. So if you see that, it's
and if it's
somebody
spelt
else
with the, flipping is not our name. So it's flipping.
Archie said those meatballs were from Dave because Roman put John above him in ranking on top 25 best reseller. Did I miss any more top 25s, by the way? Because I haven't seen any lately from Roman. Mike Camparelli says, hi, all. Just came to check in. I'm at FlipCon having a ball. See you all on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Aw, have fun, Mike.
I'm glad you're having a ball. Just don't have any meatballs tonight. Just don't do that. Victor Wawiorka says, hello, FAE fam. Thanks for being here, Victor. 1 Foot Flipper says, never skip anything or push it to the back, or else you end up eventually with mounds of 100% bad and low profit items.
Yes, that is so important, because I'll tell you, just with those shoes alone, there are so many shoes that I could just say, no. But I don't. I keep putting them all up, no matter which ones I grab.
Yeah. And see, the way I look at it, though, is like, okay, I have this tub of stuff that I need to list, like 2 tubs of stuff that I need to list at this point. And it's there. It's ready to go. Just have to get on it, right? They're not difficult to list. But I have good stuff coming in on a weekly basis now. And if I take my time and spend a day or 2 days listing these 2 tubs, well, now I'm 2 days further removed from selling the stuff that has been great for me. So, and I remember the kind of stuff that's in that bin is what I was selling last year, and I was only making $200 a day in sales. It's that bad for me. And then for some, that's great, but when you're full time, that's not going to cut it. And so I don't want to step back for the sake of listing stuff. A lot of that stuff's vintage anyway, and it can wait for me. And I think that's a different scenario than saying I'm here watching this live stream and I got stuff outside my death pile, but I'd rather watch the live stream or do whatever else that it is that's not productive, rather than listing this stuff that's out there because you just don't have any motivation to list it or whatever it is. That's not the case here. If I ran out of stuff to sell in my bread and butter items that I pick up weekly, let's say I get through that on Wednesday and I don't pick my stuff up till Thursday, then I just go out and maybe list some of the stuff that's in this tub. So that's always going to be there, as a backup, I guess. So for me, that's kind of the reason. Now, Mary has a question. Any shoe niche sellers on here today? Next month, I'll be listing lots of shoes, mainly boots and canvas shoes that my aunt had. Would you recommend selling any of these in a lot? So Tommy is probably the go-to person in here that can answer your question if you have any questions about that. But it doesn't matter what it is. Look up the comps, right? Especially shoes. You should be able to either look at the tag and the brand to find out, find that item on eBay. But also, if you can't find that particular shoe, take a photo of it and then go to Google, or actually go to Google, the Google app, and then click on the photo area. It's the Google Lens is what it is. And you take a photo of it and it'll search the internet to find shoes that match that. And, okay, so that's a Converse, whatever. And then, so you can then type that into an eBay search to find those comps. And at least you'll have an idea of what it is so you can list it, if that makes sense. Let's see. AKA Mime P says, what was supposed to actually have been returned? A football case. So not like the ones behind me.
football stand.
Right. It's a stand. It's just a black piece of plastic.
A piece of plastic that has little notches in it,
Less
so
than a
that
pound.
you can set the football. Where's the football? The football on, just no case around it. So it'd be an open case.
Yeah. And then Maggie Redder's in the house. Hi from Pompano Beach, Florida.
Ooh,
thanks for being here, Maggie.
I want to go
Rosie Games is with us. Hi, everyone. Hope you're having a great week. Maya
Sylvia's
says, so
here.
if the condition is decent and cost low enough, Converse and Vans sell pretty decent on Poshmark. They can sell on eBay too, but more saturated. Yeah. And that's why it's important to get your stuff cross-posted. I think if you have a lot of shoes or clothing, if you're selling just on one platform, you're losing out. You need to be at least on eBay and Posh for sure. Let's see. Maya says, I need to look at a tripod for sure. What do you do when you have to zoom in on tags? I've tried voice activated, but the phone is in my hand at all. I have issues with shakiness. So it's on the tripod, right? So you have it aimed at the item, and so it's too far zoomed out. So you could do one of two things. You could take the picture as it is, okay, and then load it up into your pictures on your listing, and then crop out the extra space. So crop out the photo, and or just use the zoom feature.
Yeah, use your little zoomer.
Yeah, zoom in and then put it on the tripod.
And then that way you're only your phone is on your stand, right? And you're only having to touch the screen rather than hold this and it be too jiggly. And that way all you have to do is push the button. That's what I would do.
Mr. B says, I had a listing that sold appear again inactive. I had to manually take it down. I'm sure that happened. It happened for years.
All the time. It's a thing that's been going on for years.
Ren Gregory, I had something relisted and someone made an offer on that sold item. I apologize to the person. At least they did not outright buy it. I rechecked my whole store after that. Yeah. And it's a good idea. I mean, especially now, it's a good idea within the next month or so that unless you have a small store, it just doesn't make sense. You probably have a good feel of what you have or what you don't. But if you have anything over, let's say 50 to 100 items or more in your store, before Q4 starts, get out there and just check, while things are kind of slow anyway, right? Check through your items, make sure that they're accounted for. The last time we did that, we went through and found 72 items. This is when we were at the last house. We found 72 items that were on the shelf that were not listed. And 72 items.
It's insane.
Yeah. And that was out of a 600 item store. So that's like what, 12% of my
too many.
Yeah. And so we found a few that were listed that weren't there. And, because we sell so much, it's hard to know or remember if we sold it.
And the last time we went through I think we only had like 7.
Yeah. Be Promoted says, I did notice on mobile that the send offer to future watchers is now pre-checked. So that's why I'm very careful about what I do on mobile, because they're adding a lot of features in there that I don't kind of care for. I don't know if this issue with people getting offers is from offers being sent through the mobile or offers being sent to the computer. I just do everything the old-fashioned way. I get up in the morning, check my offers that I can send to watchers, maybe another once or twice throughout the day, and then at night before I go to bed, I'll send one. Bearded PokeTuber says, I sent out an offer on desktop yesterday, and after it showed it automatically put the send offers to future watchers automatically set on, and to go back and change it. Yeah, it's just like when you're sending an offer on the app versus the PC, you have to go in and select that they can't send you counter offers before you actually send the offer. Let's see if I can get to somebody new. John Doe says, day 2 of 150-yard sale trail done. 16 hours of sourcing so far. Tomorrow will be chaos. Can't wait. Wow, because it'll be Saturday. That's awesome. So day 2 done. So that means you had people selling on Thursday. So wonder what the turnout of sellers were on that, because a lot of people are at work, right? They can't do it until the weekend.
Sylvia She's asking for a Poshmark store. I'm gonna put a link in the chat so that you can see it.
Guide Guru says, I buckled and gave the guy a partial and blocked. Yeah, I failed doing that, but I don't want to waste the energy. Okay, so that was the guy that was threatening. You know what? Sometimes you have to work with people, but I only do so when it's my fault. If it's someone playing games, I tend to word things back to them, like when they're saying, you know, or you can give me some money back, or you can do something for me. I'll ask them, well, exactly what are you talking about? What are you asking specifically? Well, I have no intention on doing that, but at least I get them to say, well, you know, you can at least give me $20 back. And so now they've opened the door for asking, you know, for money or a partial refund. And so go ahead and leave your negative about that. You know, seller wouldn't make it right or whatever. They wanted me I offered them a return, and they're wanting to keep the item. So it is what it is. Fallen Jazovsky says, I'm emptying a storage unit with my husband's impulse buys from COVID. Jordan sneakers, baseball caps. Goal is to sell 200 hats, 100 sneakers quickly, but not for pennies on the dollar. Any advice? Well, I mean, if you wanted to sell those for pennies on the dollar, you can just do a whatnot and get them listed and gone in probably 2-3 days or 2-3 sessions. But if you're trying to make some decent money out of them, get those things listed individually on, I would say start with eBay and or Poshmark. I mean, you can do either one, but I would say it's probably best to do both. List them on one, use a cross-listing service to get your item moved over to the other. Miller Time is my son there. 156 watching, but only 46 likes. Come on, guys. Hit the like. What's up, Dad? Hey, Jenna, let's get it.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Yes. Thanks for being here. And then Shell says, I'm just joining. Not sure what is being talked about. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff.
This has been a loaded live.
NPC and Oasis wanted to know what was in that box. It was old meatballs.
No, it wasn't really meatballs. It smelled like fertilizer.
No. I walked out to the trash can, and when I got out in the sun, I looked in it again, and there's like about 6 meatballs rolling around.
Okay, so maybe it was meatballs.
They were meatballs.
Maybe they're frozen meatballs.
No, they weren't frozen.
Well, no, they were at a time. They were the bagged frozen.
No, they didn't look like those small ones. I don't know. I came in here wiping my mouth.
I will inspect it when we are done with this live.
It's in the trash can at the very bottom. So we just got our trash cans dumped. It's at the very bottom. So good luck with that.
Yes, Guide Guru, that was our son, Jonathan Miller Time.
Yeah, check out his channel. He has about 2,000 subs, and he does videos on Instacart and the gig life. That's what he does. He makes it work. So he has a lot of good information. Jonathan Gibson says, good morning from Australia.
Australia. I want to go to Australia.
Hey,
too.
mate, put a shrimp on the bar before me. I don't even have the accent. Let's see. Fallen says, I have great pictures, white backgrounds. Not sure if I should maybe list like 10 Yankee hats to give the buyers opportunity to avoid Tona? Tona. What's a Tona?
Maybe she has another comment. Tons of shipping costs.
Where am I? Okay, tons of shipping costs. Sorry. No, I would list them individually. I would do that. And then after about a month, the ones that haven't sold, bundle them. And you'll make more money that way, I think. Let's see. Perfectly Blessed says, being on time ain't easy either.
That's right.
It ain't. It ain't.
It's not.
Especially for your own funeral. Being on time ain't easy. Stupid. Tommy says, oh, they used to be in chat all the time. I tried to tell you the name was Sus. Nick, right?
Did you? But did you?
Did you
tell
what?
him?
Tell me what?
He said he tried to tell you.
To tell you the name was Sus. Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. So I don't know if that's the person or not, but you know, I don't know why that person would do that. That person was, if that's that person, they've been on this channel a lot. And we've talked to them.
I don't think that's that person.
No? Okay.
No.
Okay.
You're thinking of somebody else.
Yes. Okay. It doesn't even matter at this point. You know what? They're going to find something else special in their life. You know, like I don't know.
Karma's a bitch.
Yeah, and I don't have to be even involved in that for that to happen.
Yeah.
Rad Relic says, if you were talking about the black characters, I've seen people who have had great luck selling them at a local auction. I think that's the Americana that the other person was asking about. Not sure. Riddle's Closet says you could share the address and we could all send them a gift. But if it's not a valid address,
really.
No, but what if it is an old folks home? What if it's Aunt Thelma's house and she has nothing to do with this? She's going to get a lot of crap sent to her. Then she's going to it's going to ruin her day.
It's an old sorority house.
Yes, it is.
That is now turned into a retirement type of home, like old fogies home.
Yes.
Like you get one room, you know.
So maybe it's a bunch of old people having fun. Just saying it's a sorority house. We might as well just relive our early days, right? Victor says eBay has cracked down on the sales of Black Americana items. It's hit or miss, but do not write Black Americana in the title or it will get removed.
I don't even know what Black Americana is.
It is, well, I'll give you an example of that. We got a takedown message on the other account.
Oh.
And it was an Al Jolston record, right? And I guess
it's not on there anymore.
No, it's not in there. I guess he liked to make records with blackface, and you can't do that.
I don't even know what that is.
It's an old
Call
guy
me whatever you want.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't see color in life as far as people's skin color, so I'm not in tune with that whole thing.
Hold on, let's see. I'm better than you.
Yeah, you're definitely more tan than I am.
Fallen Jasovsky says, probably because I'm a random person messaging them, so I started posting my hats. I have about 58 hats up so far. 6 there you go.
Oh, good.
No, the hats will sell themselves.
The hats and the shoes will sell themselves.
Think about it. The Yankees are in, they're kind of sucking right now. I mean, they're better than the Angels right now, right? But at the end of the day, they're not killing it. So it would probably be even better if they're first place. They're well on their way to winning the championship. But it is baseball season. Get them up. People are still going to buy them if they're good ones. Noah Design says, Jenna's pro tip on taking the picture of the tag inside the shoe. Take an old compact with the mirror and stick it inside and take a picture, and then camera setting, flip to reverse it.
You are so smart.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Noah Design has lots of practice with compacts, so there you go. Jerry Johnson says, hello, everyone. I'm late, but better than not. Thanks for being here.
Yes.
John Gaynor says, hi, Jenna and John. Thanks for the stinky opening to the live show. It shows what some people will do just to be a-holes. Mm-hmm. Being self-employed isn't easy. It isn't.
Right.
But look, I will take that over that manager who was the pits that totally found reasons to harass me. Even though I had a dedicated manager, this person wasn't over my department.
No, she had no business.
Yeah.
No business.
Yeah. And it just caused just my blood pressure to go up. And it really
and
was
John
very
doesn't
stressful.
Get upset easily. It takes, a good couple of times.
Mm-hmm. And
when somebody really gets under his skin, it was
stressful.
You should really back off.
Here I am running my own department thinking life is good, and you wouldn't know it. I mean, I get home and just be stressed out, and I don't have that anymore with selling on eBay. AEIOU from eBay says, just so you know, this show is pretty awesome, and it has really found a nice rhythm. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Is that who you were thinking?
I was, but I don't think that's not that person.
No, it's not that person.
P.S. What's the condensed version of the meatball joke?
He must have come in after.
Well, it's someone sent
me.
Someone sent a return, and it was full of trash when I got the first 6-pound box on Wednesday, and then they sent with the same label. They sent another box full of, I guess, old meatballs that I guess they didn't finish for dinner. But Tommy says, "Well, John, if upping the game is me in that live, I would never watch in the morning. Then that has to be you in Finding Nemo's chat." I don't watch a lot of lives. You know what? Like yesterday when I was in the live, Josh's live, I was driving, so I couldn't really interact. Like when I stop, I'd say something, but I knew I was like 5 minutes late. But no, you'll know it's me, but that's definitely not me in the other chat. That's for sure. Let's see. Fallen says, I guess you're right. I did get this far. It is so much research and work to list accurately what sneakers or hat I'm selling. I have zero knowledge of Jordans and New Era. So there's lots of different articles you can read. I know that like when I was trying to find out the Jordan 1s, whether they're fake or not, there's a dedicated page that I use to go in and check every ad. They had 10 things to look for. And a little loud over there. They had 10 things to look for, and it helped me determine, well, I don't know if this is canceling or not. So Biff says, I don't sell shoes, but I would think if they were all the same size, lots could work. And they can.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that they won't, but if you're trying to maximize what you're going to earn, I think lots are going to diminish that return. And then set a timetable. Look, I want these out here, in a month, 2 months. So spend the first month selling them individually, and then lot them up after that if they haven't sold.
The canvas shoes, I think you could, if they're not a like name brand, then I would say you could probably lot those up in like, a bundle of 3 or 5 or something like that.
Too Tall says, had a buyer this week, had trouble completing the transaction with PayPal. Then asked me if he could call me and make payment over the phone.
Yeah, sure. Just give me a credit card number.
No, can't do that. Have to keep everything on the platform. Don't ever take it off of eBay. Fallen says, so I'm new to eBay and I'm learning. Fallon. So I'm new to eBay and I'm learning everything at all once. It's definitely overwhelming, but I'm up for the challenge. Yeah. You'll learn.
Enough practice, you'll learn. You'll see the label and you'll be like, oh.
And you'll have no more to sell, and you'll be like, I wish I had more because this is easy now.
Yeah.
Johanna Parrish says, hey resellers, thanks for being here. And then Sylvia says, John, can you write down your Poshmark for me?
Yeah,
okay.
I put a link in the chat. She saw it.
Let's see. Piggy Ricky says, I got to go to bed because selling at a boot sale in about 5 hours.
Ooh,
oh, awesome.
Get some sleep.
Yeah. And I'm not that far behind. I'm so proud of myself. Yeah. Hustle Magnet says, is this still the Razer Kiyo Pro looking extra crispy today? Yep. It's the Razer Kiyo Pro, Kiyo. And I really like it. It's a really good video camera. Yeah. Glad I made the changeover. Brian H., how did the meatball taste? A little like sour, like they've been sitting for a while.
Please stop.
Then I'm going to ask her when we're done. Hey, honey, where do you want
for dinner?
Let's go to Olive Garden. No. Thrifty Loon says, love your shirt, John. This is my yard sale shirt. So when I go yard selling, I'll wear this and people will, comment on it. I think it's a good icebreaker, right? Jonathan Gibson says, what are your thoughts on FlipCon? I don't know. I mean, you get a bunch of resellers together to kind of do what we're doing here, right? Telling, our stories to people. I guess it's okay. It's one of those things where if you're not in with the right companies, you're not going to ever get invited. So like I had a sponsorship with one of the listing programs. I don't know if it's still active or not. I've passed my contract with them. So I'm open to new sponsorships, I guess. But honestly, it's just one of those things where it's if you're in the area and you want to see your favorite YouTuber that's happened to be there, go there. It's kind of cool. But I think
it's fun more so on the social side of it. See, we live on eBay Island 99% of the time. And, for us going to something like that, like what we're going to in September.
Yeah.
In September. What is that called?
That's the reseller rally, but that's put on not by a company. That's put on by Pete, John Cincinnati Picker, and Kevin Commonwealth.
Right, but I'm saying it's more so geared towards a social get together than it is anything else, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. It gives you a chance to network. I think, networking's great. I mean, look, if it wasn't for eBay, I've got a handful of friends that I wouldn't have had if I didn't have this channel. Or
Right.
I'm not the kind of person that is just going to go on to random channels. I don't watch a whole lot of content. I really don't. If something comes up in my feed, I'll click into it, right? While I'm working, but I'm just so busy that it's just, I don't have a lot of time to be a fanboy to a lot of these other channels. But I'm amazed that people do take the time to watch this one, to be honest with you. But Fallon says, and I know this channel suggests having an option to return. I'm nervous about giving that option for what I'm selling, and I'm not sure if I should pay for shipping or have that on the buyer. My advice is find the price that you want the item to sell for and add the cost of shipping, anywhere from $10 to $15 for shoes, maybe 5 to 7, 8 for hats, and don't ship a hat without a box. Don't put it in a poly bag. We talked about that last week. I'm one of those people that do not like to receive smashed hats. It drives me crazy. And I believe fully in having returns, because you're going to be rewarded for it with a little bit higher placement in search. And if a buyer gets a hat and it's smashed or whatever, they have recourse anyway. They can say item not as described and force you to take the return.
You don't have a choice in having returns or not. It's a matter of what your policy is going to say, but eBay is going to make you take a return whether you want to or not.
Well, you do have a choice in those people that go on, click on it saying, I don't really like the item, and they find that it's not an option to them. But then the honest people aren't going to lie to get a return, but you're still going to have the element of people that are going to force a return no matter what. And it's better just to know that the returns are only going to be like 2% anyway. So if you sell 100 items, only 2 are going to come back. That's not bad. Janet's having problems with the seller hub from list, still not working for her. And good thing we're doing this live. Joe's having the same problem, and I'm not sure if it's still, maybe we're about 15 minutes removed from these remarks, so it's still doing it for me. So you might have to go in and just list on your phone or make drafts on your phone and then launch them from your PC if that's your method. Mary says, I posted a Winnie the Pooh jar with honey pot, and I think Mercari flagged the pot as pot part in the title. I mean, I posted.
My gosh, that's ridiculous.
I posted a hover soccer ball. Anyone knows what that is? It's like a plastic soccer ball cut in half, and I guess it's supposed to kind of, when you kick it, it kind of hovers a little bit. And they took it down under the guise of, we cannot sell hoverboards, even though there's hundreds of hoverboards for sale right now.
Yeah.
Nick Picker says, stop to say hi. I'll have to watch the replay. Kids want to ride on the go-kart. Hope you get your situation figured out and get that person taken down. Not cool. It wasn't cool.
How fun, go-kart.
No One Design says John's unsupervisions is showing. Jovial's in the house. Flip it and reverse it. And Biff says, you can't have offensive, unflattering characters on eBay, which is good. I deal with items that are over 100 years old, and some of the stuff I occasionally come across is really sad. And, even like I was watching a video and they're saying that, like you can't have the swastikas or anything like that on eBay. But do you guys know that that was like an Indian symbol before Germany even got a hold of it, right? So it was actually something else before it was made into what we know it is today. I thought that was fascinating. MJ says it takes electronics that he doesn't know how to operate to get upset. Larry Todd, Silver Hair Stacker, says, yeah, I remember that one day at band camp when John got pissed at me for dumping my spit valve on his Nikes. But Biff says even stuff from World War II that is pro-America and anti-Nazi will be removed if it depicts a swastika, no matter what context. Shelly says, thank you, John and Jenna, for those videos. God bless you. Well, thank you. God bless you too.
Shelly.
Thank you. And then Simple Beautiful says, can't a person get a lot of trouble for mailing old meatballs? Yeah, they can.
We're gonna find out.
Check with the executives at eBay who got in trouble for doing that to the Steiners or something. They didn't send them meatballs, but they sent them stuff that's worse than that.
Well, I'm sure it started out small.
MJ says, I can't believe there's only 153 people watching. Sellers are missing out on some good info. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. We usually get about 150 to 200, and it'll grow as the channel grows. So,
and not everybody's available. So we're okay with that.
But you guys can fix that. I'm sure you know people who watch these videos, and you can share with, we talk about hit the like, subscribe, right? But you can also share. So share with your friends. Anytime Picker Roman says Todd takes payments over the phone, but only if it's a wired payment. Sylvia says, John, you had a problem with the person who bought the shower chair. Maybe is that the person behind the meatball? No, this person was in California.
Yeah, totally different person.
Maybe they said, here's what we did with the chair, and here you go.
Stop yourself.
Plant Lady 32 says, I had an auction where it was being shipped to a state that I had shipped too many times, but for some reason it was restricted in this specific post. It's within the continental U.S. eBay's working on it. Huh. Interesting. I know like gun parts, certain gun parts you can't ship to the state of New York, right? You just got to be careful about stuff like that, right? You get your stuff taken down. Biscuit Butt Archie says, Dear John, can you send those meatballs back to me? I forgot to add my secret sauce. Oh, all right, let's go. You guys. Tommy says, John is being really nice. There is not one person speaking at FlipCon worth taking any advice from about reselling. Want to fleece viewers out of money, and then it's worth attending. Yeah, and it's just one of those things. I guess if you're trying to hear or meet your favorite YouTuber, whether or not they're charging you $39.95, whether or not 2 years ago they were selling on eBay and now they don't, whether or not they have told you have to list 50 plus items and it doesn't really matter, if they're good or not. You want to list common everyday items and list as many as you can, 50 to 100, or you're a slacker. And now they're saying, well, ideally, if I could do it myself, I would do like 20 to 40 or whatever it is. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but those people have fans, and those people want to see those people up front and close, that kind of thing. I don't know, guys. I'm just, I don't.
To me,
I scratch my head at some of the community of YouTubers that are doing it for the wrong reasons and don't mind doing it for the wrong reasons. Yeah. So it is what it is. MJ says, I do 14-day returns and buyer pays the shipping back. But I definitely think even with that, it has to hurt a little bit on your search ranking, because eBay is going to promote what they want, right? So if you're doing what they want, chances are they're going to promote you a little bit more. Tommy says they are holding FlipCon during the week because they don't have to list and ship. Oh, that's funny. John Jones says the majority of people buying Black Americana are Black silly band. A lot of people, it's a cultural thing, right? So I think you're hurting the people that genuinely want that merchandise. It's like saying, and I don't know if they've done this, but it's like saying, well, yeah, you're American Indian, but we're going to prevent any of these American Indian items from being sold on eBay because it's offensive to some American Indians. But, like I have like the side of my family where all they did was paint American Indian stuff. And that was really kind of the thing. I grew up all my life thinking I was American Indian until I found out like 5 years ago that I wasn't, thanks 23andMe. But it's that that heritage that that's important to some people. And people, I gotta say it, I hate it. People get offended too easily. And comedies aren't what they used to be anymore. And it's like everyone wants to get mad and offended at things, right? And to the point where this world as we know it is changing right in front of our eyes. So Tommy says, sad that the General Lee can't be listed because of the Confederate flag. They don't care if I die inside a car in a fire because the doors are welded shut. Yeah, that was one of my favorite shows, Dukes of Hazzard. Simple, beautiful. What are you deducting for the meatball? No pun intended. No, they got no money back from me. eBay ended up taking care of it.
That return is closed.
Yeah. Reno says, saw one of your bin stores in Brook Park, anytime picker. Yeah. Those bin stores, maybe a Goodwill you're talking about. And then Janet says, PSA, Seller Hub came back on for her. So I'm doing a refresh, and maybe you're on one of those. Maybe you're on one of those good servers.
Maybe you're on the good servers.
Yeah. Tommy says it's a hit and miss guide, Guru. They don't catch it all the time, but they definitely will pull it off. And then Katie Pazra says, what app do you use to cross list with Poshmark? We use currently Prime Lister. So there's a 2-week trial. You can the affiliate link that's down there if you want to use it, but you get a 2-week trial. They don't make you give a credit card, and you get 100 listings that you can try. And they got a good software, and you can go in and share your listings with your followers, and it'll do it all for you. I think that's one of the things of Poshmark that people just don't like is the social sharing aspect of it. But that software does it. I'm not sure if any other software does it. I think probably, but this one does a pretty good job. And it's Prime Lister. And Jovial says, happy preseason football season. I think preseason football season is the most worthless time of the year for sports. You're going to have a bunch of players that are going to be running up and down the field that come October are going to be playing football on Xbox. So, and I'm a big football fan. I play fantasy football, and I think preseason is not real football to me.
I think the whole season just sucks.
I love it, but I'm not happy with my Raiders this year. We'll see what they do. But Guy Guru says, thanks for the show, guys. Happy weekend, chat. And then Tommy says, so did they just make another copy of an old return label and send another box? Yes. And I'm wondering how that's going to play. Is eBay going to charge me for 2 return labels? How is that going to fly? Are they going to get an adjustment? How do you send multiple shipments with the same return label? That just doesn't make sense.
Well, I'll be doing some investigating on my own part.
And then you got a Dallas fan and a Giants fan. So that's 2 sides of the equation. Neither team likes the other. Tommy said that's illegal in itself. Yeah. I mean,
yep.
That's horrible. Jovial says, actually, one can learn a lot about upcoming players and their new stats, at least for me. But see, the thing is, you see a lot of players that get good stats and end up being like 4th or 5th string. They don't let the real players play, but like a quarter or 2, because they don't want them to get hurt. They stop really playing those players. Life After 50 says, go Saints. I'm not a Saints fan, but I do respect the Saints. I'm a Derek Carr fan. That's the football that I have behind Jenna.
Yeah.
And I don't like what the Raiders, my team, did to him. So I'm kind of quietly rooting
fans.
quietly
I'm more
rooting
of
for
a
him.
Player fan rather than teams, because I don't think all teams should be celebrated.
Yeah. And Susan says, good evening. I like the YouTube screen improvements you have made. Well, thank you. I think it kind of represents, I spent about an hour going through and designing this and learning how you can go in and use Canva to make a little overlay. So it's kind of cool. I'm thinking it looks good, better than what it was. So I'm happy with it. Brian H says, that's where watching them crime shows pays off. Jenna will get to the bottom of this. Yeah, we'll get the fingerprint kit out right now. Biff says, it's Jimmy G's time to shine. Yeah, let's just hope he can make it through a season. That guy gets hurt. I mean, I'd have a easier chance of getting hurt walking to the store than this guy. I mean, this guy never walk to the store. I mean, this guy, he's like made of plastic. I don't know. We'll see. MJ says federal offense messing with the mail. Yeah, it is what it is. So maybe IC3.gov time. But I mean, I've never heard of them ever doing anything to anyone. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have Jenna work on it tonight. Give her something to do. So we've kind of reached the end of our live at the, I kind of caught up to you guys about 10 minutes ago on the comments. So feeling pretty good about that. But want you guys to get out there, go to the yard sales if you have, and we don't really have any yard sales right now. It's too hot. But I think it's one of those things where we have to really look at our progress, look at what we're doing as resellers, and is it really working for you? Because I think a lot of us are looking for answers as to why we're not making sales, when the answer could be lying right in front of us. Whether we're not dedicating enough time to to the business. Maybe we're not dedicating consistent time to the business. Maybe we're just not listing the stuff that needs to get listed for whatever reason. Maybe you're overwhelmed. Maybe you're not motivated. And maybe you're just spending too much at the yard sale in the first place because there's just not enough discipline in what you're doing. So figure that out. I mean, it doesn't apply to everyone, but I'm willing to bet it applies to more people than you think. But yet, figuring that out is another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent weekend, and we will talk to you very soon. Take care, everyone.
Hi,